My name is Jessica Rooker, and the following is a screencast demonstration of my final project, which entails a comparison of educational attainment, school availability, and county economic and age demographic statistics between the Borough of New York and Sacramento County. The purpose of the following series of maps and datasets is to allow users to make assessments or analytical inferences on the correlation between the size and population of each county, the total number of available high schools, colleges, universities, and related institutions within each of the counties, the type of such schools, overall educational attainment according to each age demographic, poverty status determined by educational attainment, and median earnings associated with each level of educational attainment. So here is a quick analysis that highlights why such characteristics were considered in the process of cartographic design and technical decisions. The New York Borough, or more commonly known as Manhattan, is approximately 30 times smaller in land area size than that of Sacramento County. Yet the population is still significantly higher, and the number of available schools, colleges, and universities is nearly 3 times that of available schools in Sacramento County. As you can see here, this is a map of New York, and it is more densely populated than that of Sacramento, although Sacramento is much larger. If you take a deeper look at the types, titles, and enrollment of schools in New York, you will find that although schools are more populous in New York, they are also more specialized, and there are a higher number of private for-profit schools, and typically, with the exception of a few large universities, have relatively small number of enrolled students. These specialized and private schools are a driving factor in academic excellence and may be a contributor to the fact that the median earnings according to the level of educational attainment are significantly higher in New York than in Sacramento. The trend in level of educational attainment between New York and Sacramento is quite similar, as you can see in the noted spreadsheets provided on this webpage. The older the demographic, the larger the number of people with a higher educational attainment. While such trends may be similar, New York has an overall much higher level of educational attainment in nearly every age demographic. However, you may notice that Sacramento has a higher percentage of mid-level educational attainment, i.e. that it's some college experience or associate's degree, in most age demographics than seen in New York. This may be because there are a large number of community colleges in Sacramento with a very high enrollment rate. Similarly, there are several more colleges and universities in New York offering bachelor degree programs or higher than offered in Sacramento. Strikingly enough, when comparing the aforementioned factors and configuring a number of correlations utilizing such factors, the overall educational attainment is nearly the same for Sacramento and New York. Sacramento with a 5.4 education attainment for the total population, and New York with a 5.9 education attainment for the total population. When creating this series of maps, it was important to consider what types of maps should be visualized and what information should be displayed and what should be interactive in order to make a successful analysis or correlation between characteristics. The basic fundamentals of the map include the fill-colored county boundary representation and the representation of schools by use of points. The schools are represented in both styles of visualizations by varying multicolored points to show where schools are within each of the counties. Showing the distribution and number of schools relative to county land area size, which is represented by the darker gray background that outlines the county boundary. Also provided in the project are spreadsheets displaying the demographic statistics of each county. Because of the amount of economic and age demographic statistics relative to educational attainment for both New York and Sacramento found using American Fact Finder provided by the U.S. Census Bureau, I thought it would be more plausible to incorporate the datasets in separate text form rather. That way the user could easily glance at the statistics and make note of how such statistics might relate to the information that is being displayed in each of the relative maps. These statistics were not ideal to include within the actual maps because they are too plentiful and account for the county as a whole, not showing or distinguishing any further geographical distribution or information. I chose to incorporate individual visualizations that display all the schools within each county so that users could see the difference in county size versus the large difference in number of schools. Each of the points that represents the schools can be clicked on to verify the school name, type of school, number of students enrolled at that facility, and where the school is located within the county. I chose to represent the number of students enrolled at each school using a chloropleth visualization so that users could see the varying concentration of enrollment in each county. The darker ruby red color representing a higher number of enrolled students, and the pale yellow or peach color representing a lower number of enrolled students. There is a higher concentration of largely enrolled schools in Sacramento versus a higher concentration of schools in New York with significantly smaller student bodies. I also chose to represent the types of schools within each of the counties using a categorical visualization. Utilizing categories with different colored points allows the user to easily see how populous each type of school is. For instance, showing a larger number of private schools in New York than in Sacramento, and a larger number of community colleges in Sacramento than in New York. Between the display of information with the use of maps and the statistical graphics, the user can make a number of inferences, correlations, or arguments pertaining to educational attainment, as there is no straightforward cause and effect of high or low educational attainment.